Hey guys, Crypto Walker here, and it is Friday, almost 11:30 a.m. Pacific. And I just wanted to do a quick Bitcoin update from what I see, both bullish and bearish scenarios here, because we don't really know what's going to happen. But we should celebrate the fact that we had a huge day today. CME futures contracts expired today, and we've all been waiting on that. CME futures contract started perfect timing, right? Right up here at the 19,000 plus mark, and they shorted and shorted and shorted. And thus far, the low for Bitcoin has been 9,100. I'm looking on the Bitfinex exchange chart here, but I'm going to clean all this off. I showed you guys kind of the zone I was looking at and paying attention to as of last night. And we were able to, stay above the trend line. We bounced off the trend line really nicely this morning after the futures contracts closed. We're still consolidating, but we're coming into a weekend. And usually on the weekend, some kind of FUD happens, some kind of news event happens that causes people to panic and sell. And I don't know why, but I just have this gut feeling that they're going to try and do that again, that there will be some perfectly orchestrated news event that comes out, and they're going to try and shake people, shake the newbies who maybe bought at 15, 17, 18, 19, who have been sweating bullets, going to try and do the final shakeout, as we call it, down to the $8,000 target area, maybe 7,800 between 7,800 to 8,500 area over the weekend. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Nobody knows. Nobody has a crystal ball, but I don't know why. I just have this gut feeling that could definitely be a probability. So this is what I'm looking at right now. I just wanted to share with you guys a naked chart here and ask you what you see. Here's what I see. This right now around the $10,000 area has really been a nice floor, so to speak. As you see, it bounced off over here and became support. It bounced off here and became support. It bounced off here, here, and became support in the $10,000 area, where over here it was resistance for quite a while before it broke through. So we have established a floor here, but that doesn't mean it can't break down below that 10K. I think the only thing that will cause it to break down below that 10K is, like I said, some kind of unforeseen news event, that that curveball that we don't predict. And again, usually the reason those kinds of things happen, in my opinion, is just to shake people out of their coins so that the larger institutions can buy them cheap before they pump it again. Okay. And we saw that here. This was a news event here. China banning Bitcoin news event. We see this going from 4,900 to 2,900. That was the Chinese supposedly banning Bitcoin again. You guys, it just happens over and over and over again. And as you see, we went up to 49.40, and then the news happened and we went down to 2,900 zone. And then guess what happened? We tried to break out of that 4,900. Once we finally broke out, it went up to 7,500. Then we had another news event, and guess what became the floor? Prior resistance, let me draw some lines here. Prior resistance now became support, twice actually. So this was resistance. It was trying to break out over the $5,000 area, and it wasn't able to. And then we had this news event, and it's just slowly coming up to this $5,000 area again, tried to break out, went back down, broke out, retested to confirm that $5,000 area was now support, retested it again, broke above it, had another news event, and it crashed down from the $7,800 area to, guess what, $5,000 area to retest it again and become support. And then after that, it was c'est la vie. It just shot up. And that's what we're watching. That's this pullback, guys. This is a healthy thing. But it's also, I feel like there's some manipulation going on with the institutions and the CME futures now in the Bitcoin market. So that's what I see there. And this is what I see here. Thus far, it's really done a good job of abiding by this trend line. Doesn't mean it won't break down. If it does, this is my next target area that I'm paying attention to. You know, I don't know exactly where. So this would be the zone I'd be looking at to buy, right? About 7,800 to the $8,500 area. Okay. And I'm going to tell you a few reasons why, and we're going to go on to the larger time frame chart because we're looking at 4-hour right now. But one of the reasons why is because you had resistance here, broke down, broke up through, still had quite a bit of resistance in this target zone before it broke out. Came back down to retest, establish a floor. That could happen again. Come back down here into this zone, reestablish a floor before it bounces back up and goes on its new trend. Okay. Now, if we look at, I'm going to erase all these. And this is just very simple TA, guys. I'm not running fibs. I'm not looking at the MACD or anything like that. I'm just looking at the trend. I'm going to go to the daily. And you can see it a little bit more clearly here. So again, this would be the zone we'd be looking at right here. Okay. Thus far, I should have kept those trend lines for now because I just wanted to do a naked chart on the weekly. But anyway, you know, it's abided by that trend line pretty darn well. It's tried 1, tested it 2, 3, 4 times. We'll see what happens over the weekend. It'd be perfect timing to have some kind of news event on the weekend when there's people paying less attention to what's going on in the markets. Seems to be a good time to have some fear news, some kind of crazy news come out. So now I'm drawing on the weekly chart, what I see on the weekly as far as a trend. And here I'm just looking at trying to find some confluence here. Are there lines that cross as far as weekly goes? Is there some massive resistance on the weekly? I see some, you know, obviously resistance right here, 1, 2 weeks. Okay. And guess where that zone is? About the same zone I was looking at, 7,500 to the $8,500 area. Okay. Also on the time frame, it would be, that could happen. It could test it right around here and still have, you know, this trend line intact over the weekend. So that's my bear scenario, I guess you could say, for the throwback. Bull scenario would be that we just remain above this trend line and continue to consolidate in this triangle right here, maybe for another week. That's all of next week before we break out, right? On the shorter time frame, we're looking at the weekly. Let's look at the daily. Another triangle I've been paying attention to, many people have been paying attention to it, is this descending trend line here that we have not been able to break above for about a month now. Okay, so it's a pretty strong descending trend line. This is a pretty strong floor trend line. We'll see what the weekend brings. Long term, definitely very bullish on Bitcoin. I do have some buy orders set around the $8,500 area that I'm paying attention to. I set them around 8,600 because I don't want to, should it break down, I don't want to miss. And I'm okay if it goes to 7,500 before it bounces. I'll be obviously watching the market very closely. But, you know, this might be a good time to do dollar cost averaging. And if you feel good, if it comes down to retest and doesn't break out at the doesn't break down at the $10,000 area, might be a good time to buy if it comes down to retest this trend line once more. You just want to really pay attention to the time frames and the volume and know that today at 4 p.m. Pacific is when this daily candle will close. And right now it's really like, it's just a doji. It's just like undecided. And it's also the weekend. So Monday, I'm thinking we're really going to see some movement. But until then, that's what I'm paying attention to. And I hope this helps you guys. I wouldn't recommend taking any major trades right now. I think the market is undecided and we need to wait for some direction.